Hello, my name is Sebastian and my partner is Natalia. We are going to present to you a proposal that helps you to teach a second language.
As my partner was saying, we are going to give you a proposal to use in your classes. Our proposal is called Mixed Method Class.
Our objectives are make that you get interest in our proposal. 2. Motivate any students to learn a second language and show to you different methods to teach a second language.
You have to take into account 2 points of view that we have. One of these is that you have to take into account that you will have different kind of learning process in your class. So our method will help to you to combine all these methods to the students and you will be a better teacher. And the other point that you have to take into account is that we have new generations and you shouldn't teach in a traditional way. Our method will give to you the opportunities to use different methods and you are not going to be the traditional teacher.
Is combine TBL, TDP, and blend learning.
You will have a differentiation in your class. You will be a class using 3 methods at the same time and your students wouldn't be bored. Now we are going to present to you how will be a class with our method.
The first method that we are going to use is TBL, Task-Based Learning. According to Lifelong Learning Program, task-based learning is a different way to teach languages. It can help the student by placing him in a situation like in the real world, a situation where oral communication is essential for doing a specific task. Task-based learning has the advantage of getting the student to use his skills at his current level to help develop languages through its use. It has the advantage of getting the focus of the student toward achieving a goal where languages become a tool, making the use of language a necessity. What we want to do with TBL is give to the students that have a different kind of learning process opportunity to develop different activities that will help to his learning process. This will give a different role to the student and different role to the teacher because the teacher will be an active teacher and the students also will be active in every activity that the teacher will do with him.
The second method is a project based on learning. According to PBL's words, project based on learning is the students work on a project over an extended period of time, from a week up to a semester, that engage them in solving a real world problem or answering a complex question. They demonstrate their knowledge and skill by creating a product or presentation for a real audience. As a result, students develop deep content knowledge as well as critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication skills. Project based on learning unleash and continuous creative energy among students and teachers. In the other hand, we want to make is that the student we get totally involved and motivate through a project of linking that make him use all his skills and the student will start to use what he has been learning. Task-based on learning will help to develop the project with the previous tasks that the student will help them to develop their projects.
And the last method that we are going to use is blended learning. According to the definition of blended learning of Teach-Talk Staff of 2008, the definition of blended learning It's an approach to learning that combines face-to-face and online learning experiences. Ideally, these two contexts, while generally seen as a trend in progressive learning, blended learning can also be viewed as a kind of really symbolic of the gap between traditional education for the last century or so in brick and mortar schools and classrooms, and connected and digital learning. This, of course, implies that digital online is the future and the ultimate incarnation of learning, which is a short-sighted view. The point through is that blended learning is a mix of old and new as much it is a mix of physical and digital learning. As we can see, mixed learning is a method that uses physical and digital learning. We have to take in account that we have a new generation that is the technology generation. And what we want to do with blended learning is that we don't have a favorite class and we want to use all the potential of our students. For this reason, we are going to incorporate the technology with the hand of the other methods. When you start your class, you have to do it in a way in which you get the attention of your students. The first moment in the class is the most important for the teacher and also for the student. For this reason, our proposal think about in an active teacher that for the first moment of the class is making the students inquire. And also we are thinking in an active student that all the time is producing, talking, writing, and inquire knowledge. Our proposal gives to you the tools to use our three methods at the same time. Taking into account this for the warm-up of our session, we are going to ask questions and play little games with the students using blended learning. The teacher, the first they're going to do is to do a problem question that will make talk to the students and will start to communicating with the teacher and also with their partner, and will make that the student start to participate with the answer. Then the students will see a video and taking into account the video will respond the question that the teacher does. In every moment, the teacher has to be an active teacher and will have to monitor the activity. The students are not going to be alone. In all the session, the teacher have to give to the students the time for develop each activity. This is so important for us and for our proposal. The teacher have to give the time to develop each activity. And then the teacher will listen to the answer to the students and taking into account the topic that he is going to work. They will do a type of questionnaire in which the students are going to play answering by a platform or by a program that the teacher prefers. And in this manner, the teacher is going to see the previous knowledge that the student have about the topic. This is going to be our warm-up with our proposal.
In the second moment, what the teacher is going to see is the previous knowledge of the topic, and the teacher is going to introduce the topic, explaining each aspect and the grammar of the topic. The teacher will provide examples and will contextual is the topic. Then the teacher is going to use TBL ons. He explained the topic. He is going to start giving tasks to a student. Put the topic task of 2 or 3 minutes that make them use their skills and making them communicating, aiding their partners. The teacher is going to use a lot of materials and resources as the computer, videos, song, copies, platforms, programs, etc. For this moment of the class, the teacher is going to provide the task for the students. As we were saying before, the teacher in every moment of the class is monitoring the task, answering questions, and providing examples. Once the students develop their tasks, the teacher is going to return to the problem question making to the student respond the question but the knowledge that they should with the explain of the topic and the samples. The teacher will shoot a video related with the topic to help to students to respond the question with this activity. The teacher is going to use if the students have learned and have made the goal that we want to develop in the students in the class. Then the teacher is going to do their part of the class.
For the third moment of the class, the teacher is going to evaluate what they have learned to this moment. They will work in an online page making exercises and different kind of games that will help to the teacher to evaluate the topic and see what the students don't understand and if the methods are doing what he wants to do or not. Then, when the teacher analyzes the results, the teacher is going to resolve questions and what the students don't understand. Once the teacher has developed his question, he is going to use PBL. The teacher is going to use to the students an example of a little project, and the students are going to do a little project in 3 sessions. What we want to do is to do little projects in 3 sessions with the students. This will help to the student to understand and to make to the student acquire and get knowledge in different ways. The students are going to do the project and they are going to start to develop the project using online resources. The project is going to be about the topic but taking into account the problem question that they have doing in all the class. What the students have to do is to give a solution to that problem or to that problem question. Then the teacher will provide what they need to develop the project. In this first session, the students will have to start to do the project and the teacher is going to explain everything that they need to do the project. Then the teacher will ask about the teacher will ask about how the students feel in the session, how the students feel with the methods, and how the students feel about to do this project. Of course, the teacher is going to ask about if they have any question, if they don't understand something, because what we want is that the teacher and the student understand every aspect of the topic, that the student understand what the teacher is giving to them. They are going to evaluate the class and the teacher and themselves, because we want an auto-evaluation, a self-evaluation for the class, for the teachers, and for the students. And then once they have to do this, the teacher or the students are going to provide 1 or 2 students of the class that are going to be a compilation about what they have learned and about the topic and the question.
Now that you have seen how will be a lesson with our proposal, we want that you think and take in account all what we have been saying before. We have a proposal that will help to you to develop each skill in every student that you will have, taking into account the age of your students, the generation in which they are, and also the different types of learning. You have to see that this generation is a technological generation. Your class will be in a 40% technological, but at the same time, your student will talk, will listen, will write, and also will read. The student will develop each skill that you want to do it. If you do the class with our proposal, introducing every topic in a dynamic way, the student will learn a lot and you will see the progress. For this reason, we want that you take our proposal because what we want to do is not only be the traditional teacher, we want that you as a teacher think about in your students and think about in the learning of your students. For this reason, we want and we hope that you choose our proposal.